Lucia.
Morning.
Yeah.
Morning. Yeah. To start our presentation, we will show you some pictures. Can you guess our topic on these pictures? Chloe?
There are two pictures that
Yeah.
represent our two things.
Nature.
So just
Good
pick
guess,
two
yeah.
things from
Just
these
pick, yeah.
pictures.
The frog and maybe the man.
How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
The fly and the mosquito.
How about Chloe?
Eyes and hand.
Last. Thais.
The house and the, I don't know the name. Yes.
Is beacon like a lighthouse?
Yeah. Those are frogs and
Good job, Mika.
teachers. Yeah. Today we will compare and contrast frogs and teachers. We will have a look at 3 abilities that both frogs and teachers have. Changing themselves, catching something, and contributing to people. This means 3C, changing, catching, and contributing. And let's start how they are both good at changing themselves. Frogs are good at changing themselves. They change it from tadpoles to frogs. Once they were tadpoles, they live in water, but they become frogs, live on the land. Let me tell you a story about frogs. From 12 weeks, tadpoles start to change. Even though tadpoles lost this tail, which helped them swim, but frogs gained lungs, so he can breathe on the land. And he gained also legs, so he can jump on the land. As you can see, frogs once were tadpoles, but they changed it themselves. And surprisingly, we found out that teachers are also good at changing themselves. Hasan will say about that.
Thank you. Teachers are good at changing themselves. They are once a student for learning, but they change themselves to teachers for teaching, of course. And let me tell you a story about my math teacher in my high school. He was once one of our high school students, but he wanted to become a teacher. So he entered education university. So although he lost dynamic brain, which helped him memorize something, but he gained trained hands, so he can help students who have trouble with solving math questions. And he also gained sharp eyes, so he can point out problems that students make. As you can see, teachers are good at changing themselves. And as Lucia told earlier, frogs are also good at changing themselves. So both of them are good transformers, although the way they change themselves is a bit different. So now I want to tell you the second abilities that frogs and teacher have. They are good at catching something. And frogs, let me tell you about frogs first. Frogs can recognize the sound that insects make. And they can also know what insects are thinking, if they do. And they can notice how they change their body colors. So let me tell you a story about my school. When I was in elementary school, we had frogs because our elementary school was pretty old-fashioned, so we had frogs. And also we studied with lots of insects in our class, like mosquito and flies. And they try to hide themselves by flying dark side or fly very fast, but frogs were really good at catching them because they have some techniques. First, they were really fast. First they set a target, and then they look them very carefully, and then they suddenly jump to them without making any sound. And second, they have special tool, and I think all of you already know. They use tongue to catch flies or mosquitoes because they are so fast, so they use their tongues. So as you can see, frogs are good catchers. So, but we realized that teachers are also good catchers. And Lucia, can you tell me why they are good catchers?
Teachers are good at catching students' behavior. They can recognize the sound that students make in a class and what they are thinking while they were studying, and what they did to their uniform to look better. Let me tell you my story about this. When I was in high school, I had a Japanese teacher. My high school was pretty open to students, so many students dyed their hair and pierced ears. And I also used to do those things. But especially this teacher was pretty serious for that. So I tried to hide them by walking in dark side or by covering my earrings with my hair. However, my teacher caught them very well because he had some techniques to catch them. First, he was very fast. He set a target to search, watched the person carefully, and suddenly stepped up to a target without making sound. Second, he used his own tools. He used a stick. Whenever he approached me to uncover my hair like this, because I hide my earrings with my hair. As you can see, teachers are good at catching students' behavior. Although frogs are good at catching in different ways, they are also good at catching something, as Seong said earlier. Now we want to show the third ability of frogs and teachers. Contributing to people. Frogs are good at contributing to people. They give a lot of knowledge to scientists by being used in science laboratories. They are used in various fields of science, such as ecology, medical science, and neurology. They are also used for various age of group, such as high school students, university students, and professors. Frogs are used by lots of scientists. Over 1 billion frogs are used for experiments in US for each year. As you can see, they contributed to people a lot. As a result, along rats, fruit flies, and cats, frogs, they are one of the 7 most popular animals for experience in the world. As you might expect, teachers are also big contributors to people.
Teachers are good at contributing. They give lots of knowledge to students, and they teach various subjects to students, such as mathematics, English, and science. And also they teach various age group of students, such as high school students, university students, or adults like us. And they teach lots of students. According to Korean Institute of Curriculum and Education, in 2013, over 500,000 students graduated in Korean high school, and it is almost impossible to count all students all over the world. As a result, as you can see, teachers contribute a lot to people, and as a result, along with firefighter, doctor, and police officers, teachers are one of the 10 most respected jobs in the world. So, frogs and teachers are both good, big contributor to people. So far, we talked about 3 abilities that both frogs and teachers have. First, they are good at changing themselves. They are good at catching something. And lastly, they are good at contributing to people. Now I want to tell you why we chose this topic. At first, of course, we chose this topic because for fun. But eventually we learned one important thing after we prepared this presentation. The lesson we learned after we prepared this presentation, and the lesson that we want to leave with you today is that the beacon does not shine its own base. We think that we know a lot about something that we are familiar with, such as frogs and teachers. But sometimes we don't really know what they are capable of, or sometimes we don't really know what they mean to us or what they mean to society. So it was really awesome to have a better understanding of something that's familiar with. And it was awesome to shine our own base. Thank you.
Thank you.